Thursday Night Football just finished up. The Chiefs beat the Broncos. No surprises here, 19-8. Russell Wilson was 13-22 for 95 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Just a miserable day for Russ all around. He's in that quarterback dead zone. Dak Prescott, Josh Dobbs, Baker Mayfield, Sam Howell. He is someone you pick up on a bye week if they have a good matchup, but I don't think he's someone that you should rely on week to week for good, reliable fantasy quarterback output. Javonte Williams led the way for all rushers, 10 carries for 52 yards for him. With Javonte, it's interesting because we saw with Greg Dulcich today. He came back with that hamstring injury, and then very quickly afterwards, he goes right back down with a hamstring injury. So I don't think Sean Payton really cares if Javonte Williams has a groin injury or he's coming back from this knee injury or what. Javonte is going to get the bulk of the carries, I think, this whole year. But that does not mean that Jaleel McLaughlin can't still be valuable. 7 carries, 30 yards, 4.3. That's a little lower than we've seen for an average, but he's still the more explosive back when I watch these guys. Javonte had that 18-yard rush, so I think Jaleel McLaughlin is still going to have a role where he's going to be somewhat fantasy relevant. He isn't going to be a superstar, but he's going to maintain some fantasy relevance, and it's not a bad idea to have a backup for someone like Javonte, who is injury-prone and has already gone down this season with an injury. So keep Jaleel McLaughlin on your team. I would not suggest dropping him because he's still a really valuable stash. And Russell Wilson, 4 carries for 31 yards for him, and Michael Burton, the fullback, also had 2 carries for 2 yards. Courtland Sutton led the way for all receivers. He had 4 catches for 46 yards and a touchdown. A really impressive touchdown catch, too. And it looks like Jeudy is about to be traded. 3 catches, 14 yards, 5 targets. We all saw that blow up with Steve Smith, where he was talking about his interaction with Jeudy, where he tried to apologize, and Jeudy cussed him out, and Steve Smith went on NFL Network and basically said that he's going to tell every single NFL team to not trade for him. But Jeudy is still a valuable name. He showed last week that he could still be a number 1 receiver for a team, so I still think someone's going to trade for him. I don't think, Steve Smith has some power, but he doesn't have the power to be like totally, hey, no team is ever going to trade for Jeudy. I still think someone's going to trade for him rather soon, and he's going to be somewhat valuable, but it's just disappointing because coming off of last week where it looked like he was really taking over that number 1 receiver role, now he's firmly taking a step back behind Courtland Sutton. So good for Courtland Sutton managers, and somewhat we don't really know where we are if we have Jeudy right now on our team. And Samaje Perine, 2 catches for 16 yards. He's kind of maintaining a receiving role here. Even though, 16 yards and he's the second leading receiver, he's the leading receiver for running backs, and no one played well here today. Russell Wilson had an absolutely miserable day. He could not throw, even though they were behind for a lot of this game, even though they weren't like totally behind. They had a lot of reasons to throw, and no one really got anything going. So Jaleel McLaughlin wasn't really far behind Perine, 2 catches for 12 yards. Adam Trautman had 1 catch for 4. Greg Dulcich, like we talked about earlier, he went down with that hamstring injury he was activated off of before the game started. 1 catch for 3 yards for him. Chris Manners did not haul in his only target, and Brandon Johnson did not haul in either of his targets. For the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes did well. 30 of 40, 306 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. The only reason I sort of hesitate to say that a little bit is because we drafted Patrick Mahomes to be the number 1 quarterback in fantasy. And these are good numbers. These are absolutely start every week sort of numbers, but they're not number 1 quarterback in fantasy numbers. So a little bit disappointing from that end, but it's still a nice, we'll take that for sure. Isiah Pacheco, he looks like an absolute find for Kansas City. Talk about a 7th round. Isiah Pacheco and Brock Purdy both going in that 7th round. That's some really wild stuff there because Pacheco looks really good. 16 carries, 62 yards. He also had 6 catches today. Congratulations if you held on to him. There was absolutely a buy low window. at the beginning of the year when we thought that this would be a little bit more of a committee, but Pacheco is absolutely taking over the workhorse role in this backfield. He looks fantastic out there from a talent point of view too. So just hang on to him. Don't trade him. He is a really valuable asset for fantasy teams right now. Mahomes had 6 carries for 31 yards. CEH had 2 for 7. Noah Gray had a carry for 1, and Kadarius Toney, pretty Kadarius Toney line here as far as rushing, 2 carries for -5 yards. And Travis Kelce, maybe I wasn't so crazy putting him as the number 1 overall pick during draft season this year. I had him above Justin Jefferson. I had him above Tyreek Hill. Not so much because I thought he would, have more points than those guys, but it's because of the value like this. 9 catches, 124 yards at your tight end spot. That is extremely valuable. This is amazing stuff. Granted, the Broncos have a really soft defense against tight ends, but this is just incredible to be able to put this guy at your tight end spot when so many guys are going to get you single digits every week, and you would be totally happy with that. You get an absolute superstar in Travis Kelce. So awesome stuff there. And Rashee Rice, it looks like he's going to get more touches. Everyone that I've heard with connections to Kansas City is talking up Rashee Rice and how he's going to have more of a role down the line. 4 catches, 72 yards on 4 targets here. He's not really getting the targets like a number 1 receiver, but he's doing so much with them. 72 yards. Second here and third was 36 yards. So he's really asserting himself here with what he's doing with these limited targets so far. Isiah Pacheco, like I said earlier, the 6 catches, 36 yards. Fantastic. Hold him. Skyy Moore, 2 catches, 22 yards on 4 targets. He's a safe drop. Jerick McKinnon, he had a long touchdown haul back, but still 3 catches, 20 yards. I think he's a safe drop. Noah Gray, 2 catches for 14 yards. He's only really valuable if Kelce goes down. Kadarius Toney, 3 catches, 9 yards, and a touchdown. It's going to be an appealing stat line in PPR leagues because of the 3 catches and the touchdown. But do not go adding Kadarius Toney because of this. This is going to be a Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce aerial attack as we move forward. And CEH had a catch for 9. MVS did not haul in his only target. It's crazy how far he's fallen since last year where he was getting a whole bunch of targets. And Justin Watson did not haul in his only target either. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow @WeAreDrafting on Instagram, and I will see you later.